If there is one thing I've learned about video games, it's that hero characters have a knack for suffering from amnesia. Almost all the classic stories we know and love start off with amazing heroes completely forgetting who they are. We saw it with Gillian Seed from Snatcher, Zero from the Mega Man series, and of course, Darth Revan from Knights of the Old Republic. This is usually done to make the player feel weak and powerless at the beginning of a story. Sequels often seem to suffer the same fate. I can't help but roll my eyes whenever an awesome hero who just saved the world simply forgets everything that he's accomplished and can't remember how to use any of his abilities. It's laughable, but as gamers we accept it. So when I found out about Nippon Ichi Software's JRPG cleverly titled The Longest 5 Minutes, I couldn't help but smirk. Just take a look at the first few words of the game's synopsis. Our hero tries to regain his priceless memories. Yep, here we go again. But the further I read into the story, the more I realized that this isn't your average tale about a hero with amnesia. Well, let me rephrase that. The hero technically does still have amnesia, and he technically does forget how to use all his abilities. But The Longest 5 Minutes flips things around a bit, resulting in a classic JRPG story with a twist. For starters, the game begins at the end. Sounds crazy, right? It's kinda reminiscent of a Quentin Tarantino film in a way. But to flip the script, our main hero has never suffered from amnesia. Well, until now. Yup, at the beginning of the game's final boss battle, our hero has completely forgot what got him there. He and 3 people that he doesn't even recognize are about to go head to head with a demon the size of a house. So how do you defeat the final boss of a game if you forgot how to fight? Well, flashbacks. Flashbacks are exactly what is needed to help him remember and regain all his abilities. Coincidentally, our hero's name is Flashback. Yeah, it's corny, but any hero with the name Flash is automatically cool in our book. The story plays out in several flashback scenes in which you control Flash and his 3 friends as they battle monsters that appear out of a mysterious purple fog that has taken over the land. As Flash regains different abilities and defeats certain enemies, the story flashes forward to his battle with the final boss, where he uses his newfound skills against him. As the fight goes on, the boss will attack our hero with stronger attacks. This means the hero must flash back to a memory where he learned a specific tactic to counter this new attack. During these flashbacks, Flash will also learn about the 3 other characters who are fighting beside him. Oh, and this all happens within the 5 minutes that it takes to bring down the final boss. It's a premise that works really well and introduces a fresh take on the stale amnesia storyline that we've all come to know and love. Although the story works well, the battle system leaves much to be desired. The Longest 5 Minutes could possibly be the easiest RPG ever made. Similar to other classic 8-bit RPGs, our hero and his friends travel together on an overworld map. Random enemy encounters will open up a battle screen, where the player can choose physical and magical attacks to use against the enemy. If the hero has taken too much damage, the players can always guard against the incoming enemy attacks, and if the hero has no chance of winning a fight, the player can attempt to run away. Well, forget all that, because the only thing that is needed to complete The Longest 5 Minutes is the basic physical attack. The whole game, with the exception of a few boss battles, can be completed by simply using the physical attack option. Sure, there's magic to use, but it's not needed. It's baffling why magic is even in the game. If you like your games to lack any challenge whatsoever, then you're in luck. Not one bit of skill is needed to complete The Longest 5 Minutes. Other traditional RPG elements are introduced throughout The Longest 5 Minutes, but they are also not needed. Shops offering health items and armor upgrades are located in towns that can be visited within the game. But since there's really no need to ever replenish your health or magic, there's no need to pay a visit to any of these places. There are also side missions to complete, but the experience points that they reward are ultimately worthless since the game is overly easy. Almost everything in the game that's there besides the story feels as though it's there just to keep up with the traditions. Although there's no challenge, does that mean the game is bad? Absolutely not. The story and the characters are all magnificent. Even though the game starts at the end, the flashbacks give the player a chance to get to know Flash and watch him build his friendships with the other 3 characters. You can tell that the writers had a lot of fun with the story, and that the flashbacks really give them a chance to let their creative juices flow. At the midway point of the game, you'll start to see flashbacks of the flashbacks. This is where you'll really start to dive deep into the certain character backgrounds. The storytelling here is amazing, and I really hope gamers can look past The Longest 5 Minutes lack of challenge to experience it. As far as visuals go, everything is in the 8-bit style. The characters are all pixel perfect as well as the towns and environments. The enemy designs are creative and fun to look at, although you might not even notice them since battles never last more than 5 seconds. It didn't matter if I was playing handheld or dock, the visuals always remain crisp and vibrant. Keeping up with the visuals, the music throughout the longest 5 minutes is equally impressive. Every flashback had a matching tune that fit the situation perfectly. Looking at the visuals, you'd think that Nippon Ichi Software would stick to tradition and create a chiptune soundtrack, but they went against the grain here. What is here would fit nicely in most of today's modern RPGs. I'm having trouble finding the type of gamer to recommend the longest 5 minutes to. If you enjoy RPGs but don't want to dedicate a lot of time and effort to them, the longest 5 minutes is perfect for you. But if you enjoy a challenge and love getting deeply engrossed in your RPGs, you should steer far clear from this one.